Michael Smith. Michael Smith is a steward of Local 300 of the Bakery, Confectionery, Tobacco Workers, and Grain Miller International Union. Mr. Smith was one of 227 Nabisco employees laid off in March of 2016 as a result of the company's plans to move part of the operations from Chicago to Mexico. These 227 individuals are the first of 600 Nabisco employees expected to lose their jobs at the Chicago plant. Welcome, Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and distinguished members. I had worked at 73rd and Kedzie for more than 4.5 years at Nabisco. On March 23rd of 2016, I was marched out with, which may be a number of about 600 members going to be marched out of Nabisco on March the 23rd of 2016. I had worked there for nearly 5 years, and I am unemployed today because Mondelez Nabisco sent my job and the jobs of others, of 500 people at the Nabisco Bakery to Mexico, where workers earn in 1 week what I and my other laid off co-workers have made in several hours. I live in the south of Chicago, and I have 4 children and 5 grandchildren. We attend the Apostolic Church in Chicago, and I'm a Sunday school teacher there. I believe in America, and I'm proud to live in America. But the America that has given corporations the right to produce products across the border and overseas, and then return those products that were once produced by American workers for sale in the very community suffering from the corporation's decision that displaced me. It's failing me, my family, my co-workers, our communities, and the very essence of America's future. Those that choose to close their eyes to the personal devastation of job loss in our country and only count us as numbers fail to realize the impact of corporations that hollow out the essence of Americans' economic vitality. By taking American jobs to countries with low wages, with low-wage economies, and return these foreign products to the U.S., American workers lose their jobs. Workers across the borders and the oceans are exploited for their low wages. Products are made in these low-wage economies, shipped back to the United States at the same price. And the increased profits end up in the pockets of the CEOs that already nearly make $20 million per year. Everyone in this business model loses except for the CEO. Workers in the United States, workers in Mexico, workers everywhere lose. American consumers, American communities, and the entire American economy loses. I sit before you today so that you can see that behind each worker and each statistic is a family, and that these families are broken financially, emotionally, and injured and tossed into a state of hopelessness that we try to pick up the pieces. As we seek to find new work, we encounter tens of thousands of others that are similarly situated, vying for an ever-shrinking job base that increasingly provides lower and lower wages and if any, benefits. Workers from Nabisco in Chicago at the largest bakery was the largest bakery in the United States, where generations of workers and their families have worked for over the course of the last 60 years. Moms, dads, aunts, cousins, uncles were part of the Nabisco family for decades. Our work and the work of those that came before us were the financial anchors in our community and the basis for the family's economic health. We were able to send our kids to college. because of these jobs and the labor we provide. We were able to buy homes for our family because of these jobs and the labor we provide. We were able to earn defined benefit pensions and put additional money into savings for our retirement so that we would not be a burden on our families and our society in our elderly years. All because of these jobs and the labor we provide. Our community provide goods, public schools, because we pay taxes on our income and property taxes, and because our employer was required to pay taxes. Other businesses thrive as we spend our earnings on every commodity in those communities that they have to offer: cars, appliances, clothes for our kids, entertainment, and the like. But now, at an unprecedented number of companies are sending jobs overseas and destroy those very communities. They do not want us involved in the production of their products, but they need us desperately to participate in the consumption of these products. Nabisco, after it pays off all of its bills, in a year makes a net profit of over $2 billion. They have not claimed that we were not profitable. They just claim they wanted more. Nabisco built the largest cookie and cracker production facility in the world in Mexico. They then asked people like me in Chicago to compete with workers in Mexico, where the general minimum wage is just 73 pesos per day, or $4.19 per day. We were asked to take a wage and benefit reduction of 60% in order to be even considered for any capital investment in our plant in South Chicago. We were asked to give the company $46 million per year, every year, into the future to obtain a $130 million investment. But even with this sacrifice, our employer said we would still lose 225 jobs. However, today, there are 600 less of us working in Chicago as our jobs are moved to a new workforce in central Mexico, a workforce they hired at the factory they built with the profits we and our families for generations have made for Nabisco. I am not, nor my family, I am not a number, nor my family, nor my neighbors, nor my coworkers merely numbers. We are, however, victims of this ongoing global snatch and grab that has gutted our community, denied our children a bright future, and made our communities less safe as a result of homelessness and the inability to provide important public services. Crime replaces the productivity and the constructive community. Conditions for all those that are left in the community include every form and lack of employment, underemployment, temporary work, and accompanying community stress, and temporary work and the accompanying community distress caused by diminishing financial resources. There is no reason that the CEO of Nabisco needs to average $20 million per year. There is no reason that the CEO of Nabisco has a pension plan of her own worth of $35 million. There is no reason that the CEO of Nabisco has a guarantee that she is paid $35 million if she is ousted from her job in the future. My employer never expressed to me or any of my coworkers that they were concerned about our future or the future of our families as they walked us out of the door on March 23rd of this year. The door that they walked us through has led to an economy that offers our family little, if any, hope of the future. The rich and uncaring CEOs continue to count the dollars they have brutally ripped from American workers, American families, and American communities. They continue to put American workers on the street. We can no longer go down this path. I have suffered, and my coworkers have suffered, This cannot continue, and I implore this panel, this Democratic platform, to stop this from happening through the NAFTA trade agreement that has affected us in my community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
okay.
Sir, we hear about Chicago and a lot because of the rash of shootings that's in the news a lot. Could you relate how this kind of economic devastation the neighborhoods and families like yours are experiencing, is related to this? Is it, in your view, related to this? I mean, it seems to me that when people have no opportunity to make a decent living, that it's going to cause a lot of social disruption and people doing desperate things. I don't know, what do you think?
I would like to hope that we'll stay the course of being civil-minded citizens of this great nation and continue in hope of the American dream to seek out those avenues that are open to us to procure employment to continue our lifestyle in support of our families. That is my hope that that will continue. There is some despair among my coworkers that I talk to and I still reach out to, especially those that are still remaining in the plant. The workforce was cut in half of 1,200 workers. It's devastating. There's generations of families that are there up to 40 years have produced this great product. This product is also, Senator Ellison, it's called the $1 billion cookie. There's enough money at the top to not have done this. Our CEO in 8 years have procured $185 million in wealth over 8 years. And yet, if she had given or elected to give $130 million to that facility, 600 jobs would still be there.
Slee.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Really appreciate your being here. You're very
Thank you, Madam Leader.
clear, powerful testimony. You speak for millions of Americans around the country, and wanted to just say a couple of things. First of all, workforce training, investments in retraining, assistance. When companies do that, of course, we don't want companies to do what they did. That is wrong. It's morally wrong. It's ethically wrong. They're shattering the lives of so many people. How do we look, as Democrats, what do we look at in terms of investments when companies do this, first of all, to help make lives whole? And secondly, with regard to the CEO compensation, some of us have been trying, I think the entire Democratic Party has been trying to address this. For example, any CEO making over 25 times that of the lowest wage worker. The federal government should not provide tax subsidies or tax benefits for those companies, or tax credits or tax breaks. I'm wondering how you see that in terms of trying to equalize this whole CEO compensation issue, and what we can do as a Democratic Party in terms of investments in making sure that this stops totally.
Yes, ma'am. I could only hope that the free trade agreement could be amended, which I don't expect it to happen in my lifetime. But I am really hoping that there will be some laws in place that will stagnate this exodus to the border and other nations that will welcome our manufacturing capabilities. I am hoping with earnest expectation that something will be formulated upon this platform, the Democratic National Committee, that will be put in place to very much so stagnate the exodus to the border. Something in place that would stop this bloodletting that is being happening greatly across our nation. We were visited and mentioned by many of the candidates for the presidency of the United States of America, and Madam Secretary Clinton came and she spoke to us, and she reached out on our behalf, and we're very grateful for that. But something in place that would stop this, some sort of penalty, something that let them know that this is bordering on being anti-American to displace families all across this nation with this manner that they're doing.
Our last question will come from Ms. Tandon. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Testimony was very